The Shanghai Tower is not your regular skyscraper. It's an architectural marvel that shows the sheer power of the human mind and, let's just say, our unshakable need for innovation. Standing tall at a height of 2,073 feet and 128 floors, this mega building cradles the skies over Shanghai's skyline and sits as the tallest building in China. Oh, and it's not a surprise that it's also regarded as the third tallest building in the world. But what makes this building stand out from the rest? Surely it's not just about its height, right? Let's just say that it is mostly its perfect fusion of form, function, design, and cutting-edge technology. So, how did the Shanghai Tower become the epitome of modern architecture? What lies behind its awe-inspiring design? Join us as we break down its design and take a candid look at everything about the Shanghai Tower, from its use of cutting-edge technology to its need for green and sustainable architecture. Now, Lujiazui Financial District in Shanghai is a prime example of what a city with a vision for the future of urban development looks like. They had a plan, and they were ready to do all it takes to stand out. So here's the thing. Back in the 1990s, the Shanghai municipal government came up with a plan to build 3 mega skyscrapers. These structures were meant to be a move towards positioning Shanghai as a global hub and also as a top destination for tourists. By 1999, the Shanghai municipality had completed the first building, the Shanghai Towers, and work began almost immediately on the next phase of the project, which was the construction of the Shanghai World Financial Center. This second project was completed in 2008, thereby laying the groundwork for the crown jewel, the Shanghai Tower, which is an integral part of what locals call the Three Brothers of Shanghai. So, to undertake this project in 2006, the Shanghai municipal government called for design proposals, and as expected, many companies submitted their proposals. However, the American architecture firm Gensler won the bid, which gave them the chance to design the mega building that would transform Shanghai's skyline. By 2008, construction of the Shanghai Tower began amidst the global financial crisis rocking the world's economy. Despite all this, the Shanghai government committed over $2.4 billion to the project, a substantial fund that was raised through bank loans, shareholder investments, and significant support from the municipal government. On November 29, 2008, construction began on the Shanghai Tower at the site of an old driving range. However, they faced their first big challenge. You see, the Lujiazui municipality is a peninsula that broke off from the bend of the Huangpu River. This meant that most of the Lujiazui municipality had very soft undersoil. Now, this was a problem because they intended to build an 850,000-ton structure on this kind of land. So, to salvage the situation, the engineers had to excavate the site and dig a hole that was about 108.2 feet. That's about 33 meters. They also had to use the diaphragm walling technique, which involves building up a reinforced concrete wall around the foundation pit. What this wall does is to help hold up the foundation and also serves as extra structural support needed for this sort of mega building. Now, once they had stabilized the foundation, the next step involved placing concrete slabs at the base of the pits. This slab is about 19 feet thick and required over 61,000 cubic meters of concrete being poured continuously for 63 hours by over 2,000 workers. Just to give you a perspective of what this means, the engineers and workers had to fill up 24 Olympic-sized pools slowly. Now, it's a whole lot of work. As added support, the engineers also buried 980 piles into the earth with their depth reaching an average of over 280 feet. To further support the structure, the engineers placed 3 separate columns at the base of the building. These columns are connected by steel outriggers that allow the building to sway in case of earthquakes. In fact, the Shanghai Tower is so well built that it can withstand a magnitude 7 earthquake, and that's no easy feat for a building that is 632 meters tall. Once the foundation was completed in 2009, the engineers faced the next step in the construction of the Shanghai Tower. This involved the construction of the core structure, and this was done using high-strength reinforced concrete which would easily withstand most natural conditions. Let's also mention that the Shanghai Tower uses a dual-core method, which isn't all that common with skyscrapers. This design involves the engineers integrating both the central concrete core and an outer steel mega frame. To also make the construction smoother and continuous, they also had to make use of a key innovation in construction, the slip-forming technique. This technique allowed the engineers to continuously pour concrete and move the structural mold once the concrete sets. Now, moving this mold wasn't easy, and as such, they needed to use a hydraulic climbing system. This machine helps move the formwork, machinery, and equipment seamlessly to the next floor while keeping the whole process ongoing. By April 11, 2013, the construction team had gotten the tower to 108 stories, which was 1,640 feet tall. At this point, the Shanghai Towers was now taller than the other two skyscrapers beside it, but that wasn't the end point. On August 3, 2013, the Shanghai Towers construction team finished the 128-story, which marked the 2,073 feet point, making it the tallest building in China. After they finished with the structure, the next step was to move into the interior finishing of this mega building. Now, we have to understand that the intent of this structure was to get a design that stood out amongst other skyscrapers, and that's exactly what they did, as they built what can be regarded as a standing city. This was easily achieved by dividing the tower into 9 zones with distinct and unique characteristics. These zones came with features like green spaces, sky lobbies, office floors, retail spaces, and even cultural areas. All this giving the building a sort of futuristic vibe, where cities are stacked as high as the heavens. Now, considering the sheer height of this mega building, one of the most important factors is its transportation system. And by this, we mean the structure's elevator system. Of course, no one wants to get stuck at the top floor with no way to reach the streets. This is where Mitsubishi comes into play, as they designed an elevator system for the Shanghai Tower, which is now classified as one of the fastest in the world. At an average speed of about 35.4 kilometers per hour, any one of the 149 elevators is capable of taking a user from the top of the building to the street level in no time. Oh, let's not forget that the building's elevators use a regenerative braking system that allows the elevator to convert mechanical energy into electrical energy. Now that's some energy-saving trick. Aside from this, the Shanghai Tower also features state-of-the-art systems that are designed to make it more comfortable and efficient. Take the rainwater collection system that reuses rainwater for cooling throughout the building. There are also lots of green areas that help reduce the heat within by promoting natural air circulation. Now, this one thing the Gensler focused on, as they claim that they want to build a sustainable mega building. Away from the concrete pouring and foundation excavation, let's talk about design. We can say that this is the part that defines the Shanghai Tower. Yeah, a lot of people are barely concerned about how many pylons were buried or how long it took to pour the concrete. Now, we can all admit that the Shanghai Tower is unlike most other buildings of this magnitude, and it sort of gives a futuristic vibe. Its unique spiraling shape, which twists at 120 degrees, makes it look like the gods spun a gigantic yo-yo which landed in Shanghai. However, most people would be surprised to find out that the design process wasn't all just about the skyscraper's aesthetics. It's what we would like to call a marvel of skyscraper architectural design and engineering. Plus, the design helped save over $58 million in construction costs. Also, Gensler claimed that the spiraling shape of the Shanghai Tower was inspired by the Chinese concept of yin and yang. In fact, if you look closely, you'll notice the building's spiraling shape, which resembles a figure 8. Gensler also incorporated V-shaped grooves on the side of the building, which are meant to help enhance its visual appeal. However, these grooves aren't just decorative. They serve a functional purpose. By tapering the tower with the grooves and rotating each floor, the design reduced the building's wind load by 24%, a significant achievement given Shanghai's frequent typhoons. The shape also proved to be economical, as it allowed engineers to use less steel than would typically be required for a structure of this size. The Shanghai Tower is not only an architectural wonder, but also a beautifully designed structure, especially with its double glass curtain system making it truly stand out. So, why the double glass system, and what's its function? Essentially, this system uses two layers of glass walls with a gap between them created by the V-shaped grooves. This gap creates a thermal buffer zone that helps regulate the building's temperature. Think of it as an insulating blanket on a cold winter night. The double glass system also acts as a natural ventilation system, thereby reducing the need for heating and air conditioning, which in turn helps save energy. For a building of this size, the energy saving is impressive, as Shanghai Tower uses about 21% less energy than other skyscrapers of similar size. This energy efficiency level is one of the reasons the Shanghai Tower earned the LEED Platinum certification, which is regarded as the highest rating for green buildings. Initially, the opening of the Shanghai Towers was a sad one, as there was much hype but also low turnover in respect to tenancy. In June of 2017, it was reported that the tower was having issues with tenants moving in, as only 33% of the 60% of leased-out office spaces had moved in. Lots of videos are circulating the internet where people shared the damages to the building structure and as water destroyed walls and office equipment. However, since 2020, there have been improvements in the influx of tenants, thereby increasing the overall efficiency of the mega building. But as we look forward, we can only wonder what the future holds for this building. Would it turn out to be a good investment, or would the stakeholders lose their money?